Hello, 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 everybody. I am your androgynous android late night DJ, Nathan Blades. This is the EUphoria actual play Twitch channel or on YouTube, wherever you're catching us. And this is a session of City of Espers, which I'm so excited to show for all of you today as part of the crowdfunding campaign for the game. If you didn't already know, if you're checking us out and you haven't heard of EUphoria before, EUphoria is a community to spotlight diverse tabletop RPG creatives here locally in Europe. You can support and follow EUphoria on all the socials that you'll be able to find in the doobly-doo and so on and so forth. As I said, I am Nathan Blades. I am the designer of this game, and I am so like honored and happy to be able to go and demonstrate to you the game today. This recording has been put together, or at least sponsored by Three Sail Studios, who are publishing City of Espers. I'll go into little bits and pieces about what City of Espers is as a game, but first, I want to introduce all the fabulous people who are joining me for the story today. I'm just going to go in order of who I see on my screen. We're going to start with Aida.
Hello, my name is Aida. My pronouns are she and her. I'm a Latinx woman of color. I'm based in the Netherlands. I have tan skin, dark eyes, dark poofy hair, and I have neon tank tops with a mesh top on top.
Hmm. We also have Toto.
Hello, I'm Toto. My pronouns are she, they, not in order of preference. Do mix them up. I'm an Southeast Asian person with purple-ish hair, and the back of the hair is black. I am wearing um pinkish dress with a big Peter Pan collar and ruffled headpiece, and I am wearing big rounded glasses.
Hmm. And last but by absolutely no means least, we also have Ren in the call today.
Hi, I'm Ren. Pronouns are they, them. I am a Black non binary person who's currently wearing a very curly light blue wig with a sky blue bandana wrapped around it. I have a blue denim jacket, and beneath that, there is you can't tell that it's cropped, but it's a crop top with chains that lead up to a neck collar.
Mhm. And to go over my physical description, because I didn't do that earlier, I am a non binary mask black individual with rectangular blue glasses, a very retro, like flat top afro hairstyle. And I'm currently rocking this blue and yellow African wax print, like short sleeve top with the chest open because it's warm today. Also, I'm worth it. So yes, City of Espers. I will give you the general rundown of what the game is before we go into our story. It is what we describe as a psychic-powered urban action tabletop RPG. In this game, players play as a found family of psychics going on adventures in Zener City, a city of the modern day that has welcomed psychics from across the world with open arms. Like-minded psychics who gather together form a house like a ballroom house. If you're familiar with queer ballroom, if you haven't, go watch the Paris is Burning documentary. It's on YouTube. It's fundamental watching. And as a house, they explore either really high energy sports battles against other rival houses trying to become Esper battle champions, or they could play it as a much more kind of like in-depth emotional, what does it mean to protect a community and the people you care about kind of story, or anywhere in between. It uses a deck of cards rather than dice. It is designed to both be really flexible for narrative play but have a funky little bit of tactical play and action scenes. And in general, you're just going to get to know all about it as we get into our session for today. To talk a little bit about our content warnings for our session today, City of Espers is a game that takes place in the modern day. And then there are some parallels with the nature of psychics or espers existing in this setting in the same way that other social minorities exist. And there are individuals who maybe have prejudice against Espers. I like to describe that as a very kind of like X-Men mutant style prejudice. We're not going to be using any real world slurs or making up any fictional slurs for these kind of characters, but that level of social dynamics is something that this game is about and encounters quite directly. This is also a scenario today that we're going to be dealing with a little bit of gentrification going on and how that can affect the community. And when some of these psychic powers are going to get out into the world and are affecting our scenario, we're going to be doing a little bit of unreality and reality warping. So just so you know, before we get in. Otherwise, if we're all cozy and comfortable and ready, let's go and start our story for today. Marvelous. To do a little bit of a spiel then, we see Zener City, a metropolis somewhere in the world. It could be the city you live in now. It could be a city you'll move to one day. 40 years ago, psychics sparked into being across the world, seemingly at random. And of course, because this is the real world where there are, unfortunately, people who will draw lines in the sand and form prejudices over differences between people that truly do not matter, they have also found issue with the fact that there are pyrokinetics, telepaths, and teleporters now in the world. This does mean that some people have had to go and break away from their previous communities and families. However, Zener City has opened its arms wide to psychics from across the world, and people have been moving there to start new lives and form new communities, in addition to people who have always lived in Zener City and sparked psychic abilities and have gone to find their people. The people that we are finding today as the camera pulls in from this bird's eye view of the city, the gigantic palace stadium in the middle. We're going to be moving south to the south edge of Zener City for the King's Brocade Docks, the coastal part of this metropolis. It is an industrial area. We see both cruise liners and ships designed to carry freight to and from the city lined up outside. We see a textile mill, and we also see many, many warehouses, some still working their purpose and stocking cargo, and others being converted into other businesses. We zoom in further and find, in particular, not a warehouse, not a residence, but instead a very nondescript game house, a gaming parlor, not a board game cafe, something a bit more retro, the Unique Wonders Game Parlor. And as the camera lands at street level and goes inside, we see this relatively unassuming building is actually filled with riotous color and a distinctly kind of 90s retro grungy feel as we go and see the people who work and spend their time at the Unique Wonders getting about their morning. Aida, tell us about who your character is and what they are doing at the Unique Wonders Game Parlor.
As the camera zooms in, it shakes because you hear ceramic just like jostling everywhere. And you hear like sounds of ladies sort of gasping and groaning. As Reina, who uses she, her pronouns, who is femme presenting, olive-skinned person with a lot of neon colors, with a lot of bracelets on, trying to carry a tray full of mismatched teacups between all these velveted tables of various games going across all the grannies. Sorry. And like putting one down on the table, hearing, but this one is cold. Oh, sorry, takes it back and concentrates on it a bit. And from one of her hands goes a flame whoosh and sets it down. And the grannies are like, no, it's too hot. This one's too hot. Sorry. Grabs the other tray, puts the tray on her other arm, lifts up the other cup, and her other hand stares at it, and frost that's going up the cup. Places it down. No, it's too cold, says another granny. There's no pleasing any of you.
As this is kind of going on in the foreground, we see Ren's character in the background of the shot. How are they reacting? What do they look like? What are they getting up to here?
As we push in on the background, Shiloh, who is sitting casting a glancing eye towards Reina as she's maneuvering around these old ladies. Sitting on the other side of the table in front of her are a group of 3 teenagers. They're all commiserating between each other, looking at the board in front of them at a match of Go that they've already lost, but they don't quite want to accept defeat yet. And Shiloh is just gently tapping the table as they stare and whisper. It's like, any time today, I think you've got like school in like 20 minutes. So if you want to just call it now. They say, wait,
I've
no.
got this.
Okay, you got it. Just don't be late because of me.
It's fine. I can say I was studying. This is anthropology, right? Here. Oh, no, not there.
Shiloh just gently says, you can pass. That's an option.
A long, slow exhale as you, Fine, you win. There are 3 booster packs, like I promised.
Thank you very much. You always have next time, as she takes the booster packs.
Elsewhere, at a different game table in the parlor, we also see Todo's character.
We see an Asian young Esper dressed in a frilly dress and a big frilly headpiece, similar to the one I'm wearing right now, looking over a set of cards onto the table, and across from them sit 3 elderly Asian ladies. Each of them also look into their cards as Lily turns to a plush cat sitting in her lap with purple tipped ears and a big sky blue bow. Nini, I think Monty just played a 3. You think she's bluffing?
No, my dear. You can't be asking your cat for help.
We're always playing. Nini didn't say anything.
Now don't go blaming Nini if you happen to lose now.
Lily looks back at the cards and finally pulls out a queen and puts it on the table.
Good play.
And in defeat watches as Auntie picks it up and puts it on her side.
I believe that's game. Want to play again?
I promise that after losing, I'll help out with serving the guests.
Yes, well. First of all, I think with that, as a punishment for deciding to ask for outside help, I think you're probably going to be mopping first.
Alright. Fine. Lily gets up and picks up Nini and then looks across the room for the mop.
As you look for the mop, there is a ding 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 as the parlor door opens, and a very large man walks inside. He's definitely a businessman. And probably a businessman who's been up for quite a while, going by the bags under his eyes and the faint smell of cigarette smoke that follows him as he enters. He's got a shirt garters that are tight around his upper biceps, and these pinstripe trousers. heard that you were pretty good in terms of playing poker. I didn't realize there are places that opened this early, or maybe you've been open this late. But hopefully you've got room for someone like me.
We welcome everyone as long as you follow the rules of the parlor and be respectful. I'm not sure about poker. I think my young table is opening up.
At kind of like be respectful, there's a well, he tuts, and there's like a concentration in his face. You almost see like a vein kind of twitch in his temple. This guy looks like he has like a trigger finger temper, as he's like, I know to play mahjong. It's fine.
I look this person up and down and realize that there's a little reaction to the word respect, and lead him to a table of elderly ladies who all look very, very sweet, but I know will demolish anyone who tries to win against them. And sit him down and or show him a seat. Well, this table has one more spot open. Ladies, would you mind?
The ladies go, oh hell dearie, and he just looks back at them like icily. Oh, never mind.
Oh, hi, you're new. Hi, welcome. You want some tea? Cold or hot?
I'm not here for tea, but actually, you're that Raina girl, yeah?
I don't know you. You know my name. I didn't do it.
No worry, don't worry. I just, you've had a little bit of a reputation around these parts. You're actually the lady I wanted to see today.
Raina turns and looks at Lily and does a complete turnaround looking at Shiloh. Is like, do you know this person?
Lily just shrugs like,
I really didn't do it.
There's no need to be on, so go ahead.
No, I was saying Shiloh's putting away the booster packs and is just stepping closer but doesn't say anything.
Oh, there's no need to look like you have to run. It's just that a word on the street is that there's a house that operates out here full of these punky types, he says, taking a broad glance at your collective outfits. Not at the grannies who aren't in punk outfits, weirdly enough. And I heard that all of these young individuals, all these young ladies, are pretty good when it comes to playing with a spot of money on the line.
I mean, a spot, yes. The thing is, we seem to be at a disadvantage right now. Who are you exactly?
Who I am isn't important, but I suppose I should be. Glances at Lily. Respectful. So,
Start.
you can call me Sonny.
Sunny. Would we have heard anything about this person before?
No. I mean, he definitely looks corporate. But you've never really encountered this individual before. It's the kind of face you would have seen around, right? So it's odd that he's definitely not local then if you've not seen him before. Anyway, I'm sure your regulars are fabulous at mahjong, but the three of you probably seem like you could do with throwing a couple dollars in, get yourself a new pre-distressed pair of jeans, right?
I don't wear jeans.
This is their hand-me-downs, and she's pointing at the mahjong aunties.
Well, then you can definitely afford a new pair then. He goes and sits down at an empty table.
Aunties, we're sorry. Tea's on me. which is a ridiculous statement for Raina to make because tea is complimentary at this parlor.
It's fine, dear. One of the others, go kick his ass.
Shiloh has a razor edge smile that just gets thinner and thinner as they sit down in the immediate opposite of this sunny gentleman.
Mm-hmm.
Lily sits down and puts Nini right beside her.
Mm-hmm.
And Raina pulls the last chair, turns it around, and Commander Riker's into it.
Perfect. And we're going to go and play a game within a game, like a play within a play, I suppose. But to do that, we need cards to do so. We may be playing Mahjong in the narrative, but this is a game that uses cards instead of dice. What we're going to go and do is that we're going to go and hit that deal 5 button, which should give you 5 cards in your hand. In City of Espers, you play with cards instead of dice, and at the start of the game, you go and draw a hand of 5 cards. We're playing digitally rather than with real cards, but hey, we've got to have a thing to demonstrate. And in the instance where you would normally roll a die to do a check in a regular game, instead you'll be playing a card from your hand and adding one of your 4 attributes to it. This is a game with 4 attributes. They are Volt, which is think quickly and collide fiercely. It is your might and insight. There is Burn, which is your creativity and accuracy, always keeping your mark. There is your Flow, which is your flexibility and athleticism, conducting your body like an orchestra. And there is Hold, which is your focus and resolve, keeping your calm amongst the chaos. Those generally have a value from 1 to 4. In checks that are not against a player, as it were, I will generally give you a target number to go and meet or beat, and then you play a card from your hand to try and meet or beat it. However, you cannot draw new cards from your hand until all of the cards in your hand are played. Meaning sometimes you're going to have a 2 or a 3 in there, and you've got to work out how to make best use of a bad hand. Karma is cyclical, after all. In addition to those 5 cards, you also have a tempo point each, which acts as a little bit of meta currency. I won't go into the finer details of what tempo points do right now, but if you're ever in a pinch and you're like, hey, what can I do to make my situation better? Let me know, and I'll give you a bit of a rundown of the kind of things that tempo points can do for you. Let's start with Todo first, or Lily rather. Sunny has a very aggressive style of play, not just in terms of you can tell that he has focused on a kind of hand that he wants and is pursuing it quite aggressively, but he's also really slamming his tiles down, and you can tell that he is trying to play in a way to try and intimidate you. He's larger than you, and he figures that he can use that as leverage in the game as well. How are you going to try and put him on the back foot? I would say that this is probably a target number 7 check. So tell me which one of those 4 attributes you're going to be using. I'll let you decide here to kind of justify it in narrative. And play a card from your hand that meets or beats a 7.
I think Lily's watching as this broad-shouldered person comes in, immediately tries to position himself as the man of the room, who's like this presence, and Nini, instead of trying to put him in his place, plays along for a bit. And I will play
If you're playing along, I could see that being a flow check, as you are kind of being easy and flexible and going along with the flow. I could also see it as being a burn check, as you are trying to be creative and misdirecting.
Would it make sense that I would actively fail?
You absolutely can. You can absolutely play a card from your hand and fail whenever you like.
then I think I would like pretend to try and put as much force as he does into the tiles, and then it just comes down very daintily, like, oh. And I will fail on purpose.
Okay, so you're going to be dragging a card from... You still have to play a card to do a check.
Yes.
So dragging a card from your hand, just put it somewhere in the middle here, and then you can click on it to flip it face up. 92, indeed. I think, he continues to win that round. He sees the daintiness as you place the tile, and is kind of like, oh, so they're not even going to fight back then, and takes a very kind of aggressive victory there. I can see. Maybe you have been playing since late last night. You're clearly off your game. All right, on to the next round.
It's not easy to run a parlor and also play at it.
Well, maybe you should consider new work elsewhere.
Well, I do enjoy the work I do here.
Well, we'll see for how long, he says under his breath. Play continues. In this particular instance, we're going to go and do an opposed check, just to kind of highlight the way that this game can work. We're going to move that card into our discard pile here. The GM doesn't necessarily have a hand of cards unless it's a circumstance where we're playing a character super important enough to do so. In this particular instance, Sunny is not important enough to do so. So instead, I'm just going to play a card off the top of the deck. Sunny is going to be... having felt that he's gotten the upper hand on Lily, is now starting to focus in on Shiloh to go and break their spirit on it. This is going to be an opposed check. Instead of me setting a target number, I'll be flipping over the card that Sunny has played and adding his attribute score. But we don't flip over until both of us have played a card and we reveal simultaneously. So this is now going to be a chance for you to decide maybe, or make a guess at how strong that card is. It's just off the top of the deck, so who knows? If it's a task you feel you can't do yourself, you can make it a teamwork check.
I think Shiloh is very much familiar with how Lily plays and is not concerned, and so it's just going to keep a very cool head and see how this goes. So for the opposed checks, I still apply my...
You still play a card from your hand, yes, and add an attribute.
Okay.
I'm going to, as an example this time, the first time round we had a dealer's choice from the player in terms of the attribute here. I think in this instance it's going to be a hold check, as his confidence now means that he's trying to browbeat you.
Yeah, Shiloh doesn't panic. It's just a very placid look on their face. And I'm going to play this one.
All right, we're going to go and flip these over in 3, 2, 1, flip. Oh! The queen is a 12 rather. Obviously, we have our face cards. They range from 11 to 13, jacks being 11, queens being 12, kings being 13. Just for the record, aces are usually worth 1, unless they are played opposite a face card, in which case they are worth 14. They beat faces. I've set Sunny's attribute score here, just a blanket one, at 2. So that is a total of 14 from Sunny.
I have a 4 for my hold, so with my 10, it is also a 14.
We are in a bit of a stalemate here. Interesting. The games kind of go by without you giving an inch, nor Sunny really letting up. In some instances, if we're in terms of opposed roles, ties go to attacker in circumstances. But here, I think it is narratively interesting to go and see what Reyna can do to try and break this stalemate that is forced between the two. The kind of like score starts slowly piling up in Sunny's favor. It's inexorable but persistent. And it's looking like if things stay as they are, y'all might lose. Reina, the chips, or I suppose the kind of like Ricci sticks for Mahjong, I suppose, are down here. We're approaching the final round of this game of Mahjong, and it's looking like if there isn't some kind of ridiculous upset here, Sunny stands to walk away with a pretty high score and potentially a fair amount of money from the three of you.
How come when you talk, you say something's loud and something's really soft?
What do you mean?
Well, you've been muttering a lot, as if you don't want us to hear you, but you say them out loud anyway. So why bother?
I suppose I could call it something in the realms of a threat under the breath, as it were. Let's not be obtuse here. I decided to pass by to scope you all out and see what kind of people were languishing in this parlor, and in my opinion, I find you lacking. So, if you're not really up to standard, if you can't really prove yourselves as, what are you, Riot Girl Gamblers, as I believe the adage you go by, as the House of Gambit, there hasn't really been a previous discussion with this guy about the nature of your house, and he seems to know that. If you're here to be riotous gamblers, I would have thought you'd be up to par.
Says big guy talking to two, like, three girls wearing grandma's hand-me-downs. What's your hand?
Hey, what can I say? I'm not a misogynist. He prepares to he takes a card from he takes a tile from the pool and looks at it and has this really wide shit-eating grin. Oh, I think it might be over. Reina, in times like this, you've been in many tense games previously. This is a really large part of how the house operates. You play. Auntie has taught you well in terms of not only being able to play your games of choice really, really well, but also the nature of keeping an even temperament. And in the instances where having an even temperament on your own behalf fails, fortunately, you have turf on your side. Spelt T-U-R-F. I cannot believe we live in an age where I have to say that every time I bring it up for the first time in the conversation. But houses of psychics who go through hardship and psychically resonate with each other can also psychically resonate with their own locality, their own neighborhood, which awakens its own consciousness called turf. It has a character and a personality unto itself, and in the game, there are plenty of rules for designing your own turf for your house and the abilities it has. In this particular instance, Reina, you've had a number of conversations with the House of Gambit's turf checkmate, who doesn't necessarily physically represent themselves, but tends to make themselves known when you are in dire straits. To zoom into that a second, what did it first feel like when you were playing a game, you were backed into a corner, and the turf checkmate spoke to you?
It was a while ago, and it's an experience that Reina is very familiar with. And it was but I spent so much time learning, and there was this annoying sticky old book of all these plays. I spent so many hours with it. Come on, it has to be for something, right? Auntie made me go through so many drills. It's for something. She wasn't just blowing smoke, right? This was supposed to help, right?
You spent all that time studying, and it has not been paying off in the games that you've been playing during this period of time in Flashback. You kept losing, and it's starting to frustrate you, and that's making your plays worse, and it starts to become a spiral. And as you are sitting in that frustration, you get a cool breeze of cold, logical clarity that passes through. And you know, even without this clarity even saying a word to you, that it is the turf of the House of Gambit checkmate. And now you think about that, and the possibility of maybe needing to call upon its aid for insight on how to get out of this sticky situation. The last whistle stop mechanic that I will introduce in this little opening section is turf communion. At any time that you're in an instance where you can communicate with your turf, if you're at your home base, for example, you can talk with it by playing a card from your hand, and we look at the suit of the card that you play and its value to get a type of response back. So essentially you get to ask your turf a question, any question. And depending on the card you play, the type of response you get. Spades are answers appealing to logic, planning, and efficiency. Hearts are answers appealing to emotion, connections, and mystery. Clubs are answers appealing to passion, creativity, and experimentation. And diamonds are answers appealing to talent, desire, and security. In this instance where you are looking for insight from your turf, what card are you going to play and what question are you going to ask the turf?
So for clarification, the card I play is the card to talk to my turf, and not the card I want to play against asshole at the table here.
We'll do that. We'll do that check afterwards. Where this is I think maybe the answer you get here will color what kind of card you might play to compete against Sunny when the chips are down. You know what I mean?
Well, in that case, let's play a diamond. That's what I have to use. I'm just gonna pull the diamond onto the playing space, correct?
Yep. Just drag it into the middle of the field and then click it to flip it face up. An 8 of diamonds. Reasonably high, and an answer appealing to talent, desire, and security. What question are you asking, checkmate, here?
It's not really going to be that bad. I mean, I got that feeling, but is this guy going to hurt everyone here, whether they win or lose?
You ask this question internally, and you feel, again, this kind of like cool breeze of logical clarity start to flow through you. You're used to being cold. You have cryokinetic powers. You can definitely sometimes shiver if you're using it in a way where where your body isn't prepared for it. But this is a different type of chill that sits within you, and things in the space in your vicinity just start to fade away. This clarity is so precise, it just starts cleaving things from your sight and hearing that are irrelevant to the circumstance at hand. And you kind of zoom in on his arm, again, muscular, almost kind of restrained by the shirt garter he has there. And you can see that it's been tensing with various like levels of tension as the game has been going. You think about how the game has gone so far, and the instances where maybe he has a weaker hand or is waiting a little too long for tiles for winning tiles. There is an increased tension he's flexing more as in a way to kind of steel his own nerves and resolve when he feels that the hand that he is currently playing is weak. That suggests that maybe this tell is actually relevant currently for the hand that he's got lying in wait. But it also highlights that the fact that he is, even in instances where he is bluffing or thinking through his strategy, is still ingrained within his musculature, says a lot about him as a person. The fact that this entire game, even though he has been winning, it feels like he is still a hair trigger from losing it. You don't know what losing it looks like to this guy, but there's definitely a cord that has pulled tight about this man's personality.
Any more level-minded person would be cautious. But Reina looks down at her tiles. Sorry, Auntie! As she goes to prepares the tile and is ready to slam it down, and it's just sort of like a cat waiting to pounce.
Fabulous.
Play.
I think this is going to be a burn check from you, and because you've got that insight from the turf to kind of give you frame of reference on how to proceed, it's only a target number 6. It's quite low.
Smash!
You're going hard in the paint with this one. Absolutely. Okay. What's your burn, by the way?
1.
Okay, so that is 13 plus 1 for 14. Handily beating the target number of 6. I think you just preempt. He discards a tile, and you know immediately that it is one that you need to win your hand. You call Ron, you flip the tiles over, and your hand has been meticulously constructed over this course of this game. In a way that I think even surprises your 2 table mates, where they were not expecting you to be the person to kind of clinch this final round here.
I say sorry because we're supposed to treat like the implements of the game with respect by not slamming them, but I got carried away, but I knew I was going to, so I said sorry in advance to Auntie, and she let me do like a course later. So in this case, pay up.
He gets up from the chair. It's a fair game. And hey, I wouldn't come here if I didn't have the money to pony up, so... he opens a briefcase that he had with him, and you don't really catch too much of a glimpse of what's inside, but you do see that there's this kind of like a bright orange clipboard in there with a logo on it that says Hyperion Land and Property. He also pulls out a pre-sheaved, thick wad of bills. 600 on the table. Good game.
Pleasure doing business. Thank you for your contribution to all of our ongoing efforts here.
Yeah, well, I'm glad at least one of you can put up or shut up. Although, I must say, I did find that this particular tile set is a little flimsy. He picks up a green dragon tile, and it's strange. It's not like he exerts a lot of effort in his body, but you see the kind of like musculature in his fingers tense and warp unnaturally. The tile cracks in half.
I said we respect implements of the game.
I'll see myself out.
Get out.
Excuse me, would you leave a card so we can send you the bill for the tile?
Go buy yourself a new set. He pulls out another 50.
That is not enough for that set.
I suppose I'm banned from the store then. Too bad. He lets himself out.
Day.
Sorry, Auntie. Sorry.
No.
Right now, that set was $10.
No, I smashed the tile.
He broke it. It's fine. I still took the 50. We're gonna buy 5 more.
Yeah,
And I wouldn't apologize, my dear. Auntie says, kind of making her way over. Auntie has been, is the linchpin of the Unique Wonders game parlor, as she is the house mother of the House of Gambit. Even though she doesn't aesthetically dress like the lot of you, she's kind of brought you together as somebody who has given you a kind of place to stay, a place to socialize, and new skills to just stop you from being kind of absent and wayward. No, we do get customers like that every so often. Rarely these days, but they still do happen from time to time. But it seems you did show him what's what, and I'm glad that he decided to take it out on a tile rather than a new view.
the guy that doesn't stop at a tile?
Well, hopefully it's nothing more than that. It's did he seemed important. Did you get a Any particular impression of who he was or where he was from?
Oh, Corpo from Hyperia.
Yeah,
Yep.
something about land.
And he knew our
Hyperia.
names.
Ah, Auntie doesn't necessarily go pale, but she looks askance. I wonder if that is about the deed to the place.
What do you mean, Auntie?
Yes. Well, we've been here for quite a while, decades even. But the land surrounding is owned by a specific company, Hyperion, and I do believe they are looking to change the land use here. I think they want to build luxury apartments or something similar.
That's nice, but this is yours, so you say no, and that's it, right? Okay.
Yes, well, unfortunately, they've been a little resistant to that idea, and I tried to convince them the good that we do for the community, that I do for the likes of you and the rest of the house, but that seems to be not something that they are especially concerned about. I do fear that legally they maybe are in a position to force our hand. I assumed that they would maybe let things go or decide that there was something more important that they needed to do, but if they're sending members of their staff to come scout us out, circumstances may be offhand.
I don't like that. That's wrong. We should talk to them. Let's go talk to them.
Maybe it slid on that one. I mean, he wasn't that good, kind of a brute. But when you say they have like legal grounds to challenge, like, are they like actively bullying you right now or something?
They haven't really put too much pressure on me as of late. They've just been sending monthly reminders about the circumstances, but I suppose it's maybe a little more serious.
Oh, okay. No talking. Violence. Let's do violence. Kylo, Lily, let's go do violence.
Raina, it's not been that long since Sonny left the building. You probably could chase after him and find out where he went.
Lily? Shiloh?
Sure. Wait,
I'll
We're
go
still
alone.
in it.
But you really scolded me the last time I went alone.
We still have other customers that we actually care more about than that guy.
Won't be customers if there's no place for them to custom to, whatever the word is.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like. Can we see one of those notes? Did they put like an address or something on it? Probably, right?
Yes, I have one of their previous pieces of paperwork here. And she goes behind the counter and pulls one out. The camera sees the document, and I think in the kind of like prop making for whatever like live action TV show this is, they've taken the time to just kind of put blah 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 all over it. It's blah blah blah, this is boring, blah blah blah. But you all in universe get the impression that this is something that it's been a very sword of Damocles situation, and they were kind of hoping that Auntie would just kind of like make it go quietly, and she's been dragging this out as long as she possibly can, but it's probably not going to be for too much longer.
But does it say an address?
There is a main building for Hyperion Landed Property, indeed.
If you want to do violence, you could set this place on fire.
I like that idea. Let's go do that now.
Look, if you really do want to try and speak to them on my behalf, that's very kind of the three of you. She looks sad. Just do. I suppose if you speak to them, then you'll get a better impression of the circumstances, but don't do anything too reckless.
Little?
She puts her hands up. I can hold the fort down here if you want to step outside.
Okay, let's find your corpo.
All right. We'll be back soon, Auntie.
Yes, I'm sure you will.
You're okay, Auntie. You're gonna be here forever.
She tries to entertain that and just can't. I think it's too sad of a thing to try and reconcile, so she just lets you go. As you step outside into the very kind of grey, petrol and sea salt scented atmosphere of King's Brocade docks, that being the area that it's in, you don't get too far. You start walking to the metro station here, but you barely get to the end of the block before you hear the sound of heels on concrete as they come round the corner, and that sound of heels is followed by a woman, very, very tall, in a kind of fire truck red business suit and pencil skirt, with precisely straightened blonde hair all the way down to her butt cheeks. She is definitely an 80s style power suited businesswoman. She is carrying an orange clipboard.
Like the clipboard that we saw in Sunny's.
The moment we leave the parlor and far away enough from it, the demeanor of Lily changes a little, and you now can feel and see more of the punk-ish energy around her, why they are part of this group at all. They tend to channel this down in the presence of Auntie and all the elders, as this is something they have been taught by the grandma, to show respect to elders and be more demure in their presence. But whenever we leave, or like just between ourselves, there tends to be a bit of a switch where Lily goes to her actual personality. I still think we should burn that place down.
I think it's a bad idea to set fire to a corporate building in general, like jail.
So we freeze it down.
We could freeze it down. What about like just a floor, just a room, like documents?
I'd be disinclined to do either of those things, says the tall businesswoman.
Eavesdropping bad.
I wouldn't worry. I'm actually here to see the three of you specifically. You're all representatives of the House of Gambit, yes?
You can say
That's
that.
what's asking.
My name is Cherry Sunday. She produces a business card from her cleavage, truly. It's beautifully embossed. It is in the same kind of like navy. It's in the suiting navy and corporate orange that the House of Hyperion as a company are framed as. I'm a public relations officer and one of the members of the House of Hyperion. I was given a very interesting report by my colleague Sunny Weathers, and I thought it would be a good opportunity to pass by directly to speak to you. The amount of time that has passed here has not been very long, so it's definitely a circumstance where this was a 1-2 punch and she intended to follow up immediately after Sunny cased the joint.
Lily takes the card, looks at it, and opens a zipper at the mouth of her cat plushie, and the cat plushie's mouth opens, like the top falls all the way back, and the card vanishes into the cat.
Quite. Well, I thought that I would be a little more magnanimous than my colleague, and well, you might not be able to tell, but I'm also an Esper, she smiles, and I thought it would be apt, an olive branch maybe, to engage with you on the level of Esper culture. I do believe that there are things that you like to do called Esper battles, where you involve yourselves and your skills and wager things on the line for clout, she says with finger quotes, and the like. And I thought that if dealing with paperwork and finances is something that your house struggles with, maybe you'd like to play a game for it?
That was a lot of talking with very little said. You want to fight, and if we win, we get rid of you? Is that it?
a very pithy way of putting that, but yes. Across in general, you are aware that Esper battles can be about truly anything. There have been dance battles, there have been street races, there have been eating contests, there's been Battle of the Bands. The kind of like knockdown, drag out fights are things that Esper battles can be, and the ones that are truly like no holds barred are definitely unofficial in nature. It is unlikely that is the specific type of game that Esper Battle that Cherry is offering. Well, since you're so interested in battling, I do understand that you are a game parlor, so I thought challenging you all to an Esper Battle around a game would be apt.
Are you going to participate?
Oh, no, dear. I couldn't possibly. I'm not really the type to, as they say, get my hands dirty. But
You
we
don't like
did.
it?
She takes it as a compliment. Well, thank you.
That wasn't a compliment.
We did hire somebody who was also a gaming enthusiast. We have an individual by the name of, oh my gosh. We do have an individual by the name of Gladiolus Fortuna, and they come round. And they definitely, they have this energy of like biker gang, but also visual K, like goth rocker individual. It's entirely like it's the leather trousers, tight, big kind of pointy boots. They've got the big spiky hair and kind of a powdered face to kind of give the kind of rococo energy to their appearance. What would kind of bring it together is a jacket, but they don't have one. Just a kind of like frilly blouse instead. Why, yes. I have been selected to go and duel the House of Gambit. I do have a little bit of a previous with one of your members, so I thought it would be a wonderful time to go and play you all at a game again.
You just beat one of your guys.
Oh, well, I really did enjoy that jacket. It was sewn by myself, and I would so much like to have it back, but when the House of Hyperion approached and said that I could potentially just, well, take away the entire shop, that seemed a little extreme, but it also felt, I don't know, sinful. So how about it? Are you down for Esper Battle to go and put your own store on the line?
What are you putting on the line?
Oh, well.
Sounds awfully one-sided, doesn't it?
There's a beat, and a Gladiolus looks to Cherry, and Cherry looks at Gladiolus and says, well, you offered to go and essentially offer all of the funds and supplies of your house to the House of Gambit. I do believe that's what we arranged. There is a blank, hazy stare from Gladiolus, who then blinks twice. Oh yes, that was indeed what we agreed. Their eyes look a little bit wild and shifty, but they seem enthusiastic. Indeed, I will put the entire funds of my house on the line against the deed to your property.
I think Shiloh is just very intently watching Cherry Sunday as Gladiolus has this revelation. It looks like she did something to him.
She turns to look at you. Oh, you have an issue?
Generally with people being manipulated sometimes, yeah.
Oh, that's business, darling. She smiles. She does not care. Well then, I do believe we have arranged for a little game tomorrow morning. Our duelist, as it were, Gladiolus, will meet you outside your parlor tomorrow morning, so I suppose you have the rest of the day to prepare. Says Gladiolus.
Okay, I guess we'll see you tomorrow, and you are happily going to give all of your funds
Yes, all of the house is fine.
Willingly, voluntarily, from your heart. Blink twice if that's not really.
I'm sorry, they continue to kind of Ojo summer laugh behind their hands. I hope you enjoy card games. It's going to be a duel for the ages. They spin on their heels and walk away. And so, the House of Gambit is given the rest of the day to prepare for this duel against Gladiolus Fortuna. And we'll see their preparation on the other side of a very brief break where we can hydrate and stretch before we get back into the action. All right, welcome back, everybody. Ooh, on our first half, we met the House of Gambit, these riot girl gamblers, as they established that they are really good at what they do, but also the Unique Wonders gaming parlor is under a little bit of a property financial difficulty. But the gracious Hyperion Land and Property and one of their representatives, Cherry Sunday, has given you all a chance to put the entire property on the line in an Esper battle. What's the nature of the Esper battle? Well, they didn't really specify to you, which is a little concerning, but you do have the rest of the day to prepare. So I suppose it's about finding out what you can do to get an advantage, who you can speak to get some items or some advice. And we start, well, this morning. It's still early days. You started working at the parlor quite early, and it's now probably only around 10:30, 11 a.m. right now. So you have the rest of the morning to go and prepare. Let's start with Lily. What does Lily do in the morning?
Lily tells the others that they will return to the parlor, and their room is upstairs because Auntie has taken Lily in after the passing of her grandmother. And they turn to the others and says, I have things to pack, and Nini is full of crap that we don't need. And with that, turns around and walks back to the parlor. And as she walks through the parlor, takes in the decor in the room, and there are bits of all the people that have been playing games here for years. Some have their favorite cups in the cupboard. They leave it here, and whenever they come, they get their tea in their own little cup. And they're pictures of people who've played. They're people who only been here once, and they still left a little note on the wall saying how much fun they had or that they will return someday. And Lily walks up the stairs to her room and passes a picture of herself in full classic Lolita J fashion. And next to her is a picture of standing next to her is a person holding a camera and who has this really cool jacket on with all these little patches and words scribbled around them. And as they pass the picture, they eventually arrive at an altar with a framed picture of an older Asian grandmother. And Nini walks over, lights some incense, put them in a bowl of rice, and puts the hands together. Hi, Grandma. Thank you for taking care of the parlor. I've been having a great time. My friends are really nice. I've been missing you a lot. And please keep looking after us. Also, I'm going to an Esper battle, and I really, really want to beat that ass. So if you could send any help, that would be wonderful. Thank you. And then turns around, opens the zipper on the mouth of Nini, the cat plush, and pulls out a bunch of stuff that is in size bigger than the actual plushie cat.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't stop for a full 10 minutes.
A ladder comes out of this cat at one point, It kind of, as you go through this process, you feel that there's a lot of memories here. Not just the way that we kind of collect memories and trinkets and knickknacks from the people we meet over our lives, but just how the memories of those people really like seep into the brickwork of a place. This place would just not be the shape or sound or smell that it is if not for the hundreds of people that have kind of moved in or out here and left a little echo of themselves in the space. And to turn that into just something entirely else, well, that's sad and unnecessary.
Lily eventually, after picking a few stuff that she believes they need into Nini, goes and walks towards what looks like a rack of different things and grabs a big parasol that is comically large
Mm-hmm.
and puts it into Nini, and you just watch how it just like vanishes into the cat and puts a strap around Nini and puts it like a bag on her side and goes back to the altar. Grandma, I'll be off. Please don't forget to help me kick someone's ass. Thank you. And then leaves to find their friends.
Before you step away, I would love to go and get a I think this is kind of a thing about intuition rather than necessarily direct logic. I would love a difficulty 10 burn check from you. Target number 10 burn check.
Okay.
If you happen to not have a value of that in your hand, there are some things that you can do about it.
I think I'm fine.
Okay.
I'm gonna put this here.
Beautiful.
My burn is a 3, so this comes to a total of 12.
You beat it handily. As you sit at this kind of like altar, and you kind of have a look around the space, just in a kind of like, this is a familiar scene that you know. This area has been something that you've maintained, and you say hi to your grandma on a very regular basis. There's something here that isn't normally here. It seems that there is a trading card that has been like left here. It's been kind of like wedged, almost like it's been dropped between kind of two various knickknacks. Maybe it's kind of behind the box of like incense sticks as you try to put them away. There is a particularly popular trading card game called Shadow Summoner, and this seems to be a card from that.
I pick up the card. Where are you coming from?
Ren, what is the artwork on this Shadow Summoner card?
I think the patterns of the swirls at the borders match the swirls of the incense that Lily has lit. And then within the center, it is like there's like a pattern of eyes and a hand reaching out, but it looks like it's giving assistance rather than trying to like draw and take. It's giving.
And Ida, what's the name of this card?
The ink.
Gotcha. You get a hollow foil The Ink promo card.
Oh, I hold up the card to the light through the window and see how the hollow iridescent shine shimmers.
They've done a really good job. For some strange reason, the shimmer makes the card darker rather than brighter. It's a really cool effect.
I, for some reason, feel like I should take this to the battle and open Nini up again and put it with the rest of the things I packed.
Perfect. And you head outside to resume finding your friends as they prepare to move into the afternoon. Where are we going in the afternoon? Who's going to be taking point for the afternoon scene?
I will. Shiloh invites Raina on the back of her motorbike to head deeper within Zener City towards there's an active like bowling rink and arcade towards the front of this facade, but she drives around the block towards the back where there is entrance to a basement.
Mm-hmm.
As you're riding along, Shiloh says, so this is gonna go like one of two ways. It's probably gonna go the second way, which is poorly, but we're gonna try anyway. I've got like this, well, I don't know if she considers me a friend anymore. Basically, if she helps us, it will be good, like based on our past relationship. If not, then we just deal with what we got. We're good at that anyway.
If, big if. Well, I'm your ride or die. We're riding. We're not dying today, though. Tomorrow,
We're not.
later.
No.
You find a sensible place on Adagio Street, the premier entertainment district in Zener City, to go and park your big motorbike that you've customized to have these kind of like powder paint exhaust nozzles that aren't used to like put the regular exhaust out of the car. They are there set so you can push a button and just spray paint out the back of it. It's surprisingly got you out of more jams than you figured it would do. You just did it for the vibes, but actually it is a very handy tool. Having locked up your bike, you go and make your way down to this kind of like the back door and basement area of this bowling alley. And immediately the kind of walls are clearly painted in like this really elaborate blacklight mural, definitely reminiscent of the depth of space, but also of some very, very terrible student nightclubs that you've maybe have been to before, and definitely one or two laser tag places that Raina has been to when she was a little younger. You can already hear the sound of like Chicago footwork, kind of like going like in low pass filter as you're making your way down the stairs, and it's getting louder and louder and louder.
Shiloh already has a headache.
We'll play the dance game later.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's definitely a lineup of DDR machines in here, as well as a roller skating rink, roller skating rather than rollerblading specifically, and the sound of that pulsing kind of like dance kick drum is then immediately layered onto by the chattering of voices, the sound of hard plastic wheels on polished wood floor, and just general sounds of revelry in the middle of a day. It's like 2-3 p.m. And they are already partying pretty hard.
We've barely gotten started. It gets worse in the night. Shiloh moves deeper in towards the edge of the skating area and is just looking for a particular face, trying to spot her before she spots them.
You see Ruby in the middle of the rink, kind of doing one of those big elaborate spins, and then she's kind of like putting her arm up as well as she's spinning, and then she slowly moves into the splits while continuing to spin. Everybody's losing their minds over it. And then she kind of ends in kind of like a full like spin and dip, and then just sticks her leg up in the air. And you see her first, but if you don't move from where you are as she's finished her spin and dip, she will definitely see you from the other side of the rink.
I think Shiloh just takes this moment to like just admire the moves and the grace of it, and just looks towards Reina. That's Ruby. That's the one that we're gonna try and convince to help us out today.
Hi, I'm Ruby. Immediately behind you, she's a teleporter.
Hi, Ruby.
Hi, Ruby. I'm Reina. Nice to meet you. That was
Oh,
cool.
I'm charmed. Thank you. I work really, really hard. So, Shiloh, is this your new, you bringing her over here to make me jealous, or are you considering coming back?
Not to make you jealous, no, and not considering, no. Listen, I'm gonna make this brief. I know you've got a lot of dancing to do, and I don't want to
I've got
interrupt.
time for you, darling.
I need your help.
Oh, Miss Thing needs my help? Wow, you never really needed my help before. Oh, that's so nice. Oh, Reina, I know Shiloh can be really, really fascinating sometimes, where she refuses to ask for help, even though she really, really sometimes does need it. You clearly have been helping them grow. You're so amazing. Thank you.
You're saying a lot of things, but it sounds like you don't mean a lot of those things. What is it you want to say,
Oh,
actually?
no, it's just my tone of voice. I'm being very sincere. Shiloh, that is just how she sounds. Bestie, we can go to the VIP and have a proper conversation. We don't want to do it out here, where all people can be kikiing about seeing us together again.
Sure, let's go to the VIP. I think Shiloh is already, Reina, like the tether is getting shorter and shorter. Like, does not immediately regrets doing this in the first place.
I think as we're walking towards, like, Reina tries to be very stealthy, passing by Shiloh's ears, like, you want her hot or you want her cold?
Let's keep it cool for now.
Okay.
For her part, Ruby is like short distance teleporting. She does not need to do this, as she kind of like is in a different pose every time as she's making her way around to the VIP. And it is much quieter back here, relatively speaking, but at least you can kind of have a conversation without people eavesdropping. So what do you need?
Hyperion is coming for the land and the area that our house is in, and you don't have to look so shocked.
She takes it back by 20%.
Thanks. Listen, we've got a battle coming up, not with Hyperion directly, some Gladiolus Fortuna, but if we could have numbers, that would be nice.
Oh, you wanna roll deep? Doesn't your house have the numbers? I figured you'd be, turning to your own house, the house of gambling or whatever.
It's the house of Gambit, and you know that.
Close enough. But I suppose little old ladies aren't really going to be one for Esper battling, are they?
Ruby and Shiloh is... Ruby, it is sad the way that we are right now, and I am sorry that we ended on kind of bad terms, but I'm asking you for the sake of the way that we used to be, if you could just help us out.
Absolutely. Let's go make a check about that. You're
Yay.
being quite direct here, I think,
Mhm.
rather than trying to be like appealing to her nature or whatever. So I'd like a vault check from you, please. This
Okay.
one is going to be pretty high. It's going to be an
Mhm.
11.
Okay.
If it's something that you feel
Um,
you can't make yourself, you can do a teamwork check about it.
I think I got it.
Oh, you got it.
So I have a volt of 3,
Mhm.
and I play.
The queen is 12, so that is absolutely 15. You do it. Well, I suppose I can't run away from this one, can I? She actively tries to just kind of like teleport away from here, and she doesn't. She keeps her butt sat. Oh, you don't even think about when you do it, huh?
I mean, trying to appeal to your better nature, maybe you just kind of fall under the gaze of it.
Hmm. Raina, you're aware of this, but Shiloh's psychic ability. Actually, I'll let Shiloh kind of describe it in their own words. What is your psychic ability, Shiloh?
So I am a Psi Jammer, which means that I can suppress psychic effects around me temporarily. But yeah, it's tends to be a somewhat of an irritant to some other espers. And in the past, Shiloh has been labeled a bit of an anti-esper because she makes everyone normal for a little bit, and it's weird.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she did you a favor, and Reina sort of points down at the roller skates still on Ruby's shoes, still on Ruby's feet, and the front wheels are iced over, are frosted. So had a teleport happened, there would have been a face plant.
Oh, well, I suppose she gets to choose whether she turns, whose power she turns off then. That's fine. That's fine, but hey, you know, I am willing to offer an olive branch to y'all. Call it an inter-house partnership. And you said the Hyperion was involved? They send agents over to you? You dealing with Agent Eggshell or something like that?
No, we met with a Sunny, and then there was a Cherry Sunday.
She looks genuinely surprised. He's someone higher than an agent. Somebody with an actual name? Oh my god.
Yeah,
All
she
right.
said she was PR or something.
Man, they're not messing around. You know, it would be really, really funny. It would be really funny for them to be sending them big names around to go and deal with y'all, and there is bigger resistance. That would be pretty fun. And also, it would look really good for the House of Cosmic Rain to be seen sticking it to the man, you know? So it's a good PR opportunity, like Cherry said. Well, I suppose you got a deal. She offers a hand.
Shiloh will glance at Reyna and take Ruby's hand. Then we have a deal.
Now let's go have some drinks, shall we?
Sure.
We cut to hours later. It is evening. Ida, where would you like to have the evening scene?
Reina is outside in a playground, dark after hours, so there's no one else there, certainly no kids, no one else. And there is a very giant concrete turtle with the sand underneath dug out for kids to hide in. And Reina's underneath there because underneath this massive concrete turtle, she can let loose a little bit and nothing in the immediate vicinity gets too damaged. The underside of this turtle is pretty scorched, but this turtle's not going to budge. So she's sort of lying down in the pit underneath the concrete turtle. She starts closing her eyes and concentrating. Okay. Ice fire or fire ice. Okay, and we're going to try to combine the two. We're going to try to combine the two. And as she's trying to do this, next to her is her phone, and on the screen is a muted video of a TV talent show. And you sort of see like announcers like pointing and smiling, and some like pressing a big button for like a big golden check mark or something. And meanwhile, Reina is trying to have floating ice balls of fire or icing flames. It's never been done. It would look so cool. It would look so ach! And then there's like this soot cloud enveloping her as moisture and fire burst out the sides of the turtle as she just sort of sinks in, avoiding the explosion. Okay. Not like that. Not like that.
Indeed. Not only is so Raina is, it's not unusual necessarily for a psychic to have more than one psychic power, especially ones who have been in the who've sparked powers for a while and have gotten to know themselves very well. They tend to kind of develop new psychic powers. Mechanically in the game, you can spend EXP to gain new psychic powers. However, from character creation, people who roll especially low stats during character creation, as balance for that, they do get a second psychic ability. So at Raina's relative novice nature to being an Esper, she is handling 2 psychic powers at once. I would love... Do I lean in here? Do I do a particularly difficult check to see if you can like master this idea of encasing a ball of flame in ice? Because I do love that. I would love a difficulty 14 burn check from you, please.
Oh man.
If there's something you can't make, there are ways around it.
For the narrative, I'm going to play this card. And that is a 4 of clubs.
What is your burn attribute?
Not high enough. That would be 1, so a total 5.
I see. Of course, you would fail in this particular circumstance, which is the thing you are absolutely allowed to do. One thing that you could also do if you were like, oh no, we can go one step beyond, is that you can use your tempo point to go and flip over the top card of the deck and add that to the value of your total to see if you can get to there. But that'd be quite risky on a 4.
I think for all the bluster and cocky smile that Reina has been doing, this is the moment where she's just like going to let frustration sink in, going to let failure literally bury her because she got pushed further down into the sand and the turtle, and just sort of sit with the inability for a bit and remember what this feels like. Remember how unpleasant, how unfun, how frustrating this is. Isn't it so much better when I can be cool, when everyone can like be impressed and I'm not constantly apologizing? Wouldn't that be nice? Remember this. Remember this. Don't do this. Don't be this. Don't do this.
It's a weird way to end a day, as you kind of mantra to yourself to just keep it together. And after a while, you feel that you've managed to kind of get your roiling emotions back under control and make your way back to the House of Gambit's game parlor, albeit covered in sand and soot. And so time passes, and we find ourselves the next day, bright and early. Lily, you look out of your bedroom window and see once again this visual K like biker looking individual standing outside with a like black lacy folding fan, fanning themselves in the already quite warm morning. Oh, House of Gambit! Game day is here.
They're super eager. They barely finished breakfast.
Lily has been up for almost 3 hours, getting ready, putting on her full set, usually dressed in a more pastel-colored classic Lolita style, often working with sky blue in accordance to their house colors. Today, she is donning a fully black set.
We're doing Kuro
Chell-
Lolita. Yeah!
Chell-
Amazing.
Channeling her in Amana Sama.
Mhm.
And there are dark purple accents to it. And as she grabs Nini with the parasol and the card that she found yesterday inside, comes down the stairs and walks very slowly, making an impression, knowing very well that Gladiolus and Lily both dress inspired by similar fashion, and this is a statement. I am outdressing you. Knowing very well you're missing a very specific, important part of your chord, while I have every part of my chord ready.
Some people are just lacking the brand, and that's shameful, truly. Shiloh, how are you kind of reacting and getting your way outside to Gladiolus?
Shiloh this morning has acted like nothing has changed. The school kids that come and try to best them at Go, he's still just like pays attention to them, visits Auntie. Just nothing has changed. Everything will be as it was today, as it will be tomorrow. And so with Gladiolus calling out to the House of Gambit, Shiloh steps to the doorway to bid the kids a good day at school, and then just crosses their arms and leans against the door frame and still has the goal piece, the winning goal piece, just twirling it between their fingers. You are real impatient, you know, like we have schedules.
And so, as I understand, this is the House of Hyperion. They want to be done by brunch, as I understand. And brunch can be very nebulous for timing.
I'm gonna help you out after this, but only after this. Like, I feel like you need to get your ass whooped first, and then we'll talk.
I suppose then I'll talk about the rules of engagement for our little going duel today. I happen to be a bit of an enthusiast for a particular card game, Shadow Summoner. It's a really fantastic blend of randomized tactics and tower defense in particular. And so I thought we could go and play on a much grander scale. After all, we're going to be playing for entire property on the line. So let's go and go big or go home.
Sorry, I'm late. And Reina, like heavy footsteps, with that piece of toast in her mouth, with her hair half done, pulling up 2 gloves over her hand, a bright pink one on the left and a bright blue one on the right. Did he do his comically evil monologue yet?
Not entirely. I still think there was maybe about 5 or 6 sentences to go.
So I had more time. She takes the toast out of her mouth, puts it into a very wide cargo pant pocket, and it's like, okay, what's going on? And she like pops some gum in her mouth and like, let's go.
Yes, well, kind of initially a little relatively patient to kind of explain the circumstances, and then moves into a kind of like, "Oh, goodness, some people are deeply unprofessional. As he goes, yes, there's a particular game that I like to. I'm not going to give you the rundown. Basically, we're playing a game of Shadow Summoner with your parlor as the target to be defended. It would be 3 versus 1, but, well, I suppose I've got a few friends on the other side, as it were. And Gladiolus uses their psychic ability kind of hits you all at once. You've maybe met a reality warper before, but this seems like excessive. Maybe it's just specific. You know, the more limitations you place on a power, the more focused it can become. But you feel this entire block of the area that you're in King's Brigade outside the parlor turns to almost like a board game, like chess boards with big squares. You can kind of see this checkerboard pattern just kind of radiate from out under your feet and stretch in this space. It's hard. You spent so much time of your lives moving pieces around, but it is a weird feeling for you to become pieces yourselves on this board, as we are going to go into a very brief action sequence. Action sequences are an action sequence can be literally anything as long as timing, position, and tactics are like relevant for the circumstances. They could be a fight against a rival Esper in an Esper battle. It could also be a sneaking sequence. It can be doing a treasure hunt. It can be a mad dash race across the city. And to do action sequences, we use our action grid that we have seen here for the game so far. These little 9 squares around here are essentially abstracted spaces for our game. Each zone representing could be representing a wide variety of different things. In this particular scenario, we are using this action grid to represent essentially the game board / street outside the parlor. And I have made this zone in the middle here that hopefully everybody can see as the parlor itself, and it has 3 HP that I can kind of tick up and down as it takes damage, as it were. You are all color coded already as pieces, so we're gonna go and get the orange for Raina, the green for Shiloh, and the yellow for Lily. We're gonna take this dramatic purple gothy one to go represent Gladiolus. And as this kind of like warping takes place across the space, Gladiolus pulls some Shadow Summoner cards out of their kind of like a dual box that is like strapped to their waist with a leather belt with much hardware and studs on it, and pulls out 2 cards and just flings them into the space that then become grotty little creatures, little shadowy monsters. We're going to do our best to essentially break down the walls of the parlor and claim it for ourselves, and the 3 of you should, I suppose, do your best to stop us. Good luck. Since we're acting into an action sequence, generally, it is a popcorn initiative system with the players going first. So let any of you decide who wants to take the first action, and then when your action resolves, you get to choose who to pass it to. It can be an ally or an enemy. Letting all the enemies go back to back can be a little strategically dangerous. You may want to move back and forth. So who would like to go first?
Not me.
All right.
So for clarification, each of these extra shadow summons, they have like their own thing. They're not part of Gladiolus.
For the sake of expediency, they are their own things with stamina, but for the sake of expediency, they will be taking the same turn as each other for this demo play today.
Okay.
And movement from box to box is indeed movement.
Yes, one of the actions that you can take is moving, which is just moving from zone to zone, any orthogonal, so up, down, left, and right zone. If you would like to move to a diagonal zone, you can, or move again, you cannot use the same action twice during your turn. You can use parkour. It is that type of game and is inspired by Jet Set Radio for a reason, which lets you take a second move action functionally or let you move diagonally, but it does require you to play a card to do so, a flow check of 9. But we haven't resolved who is taking their first action, and we know that Lily isn't going, so Shiloh or Raina, who's going first here?
If Reina goes first, it would actually be a bigger defensive plan, which might affect movement. So letting my players at the table know.
I am going to, I think, ride my bike up on one of the summoned shadow creatures and try to like drift it around to like smack it with the back end of the wheel to take it out.
Absolutely. So we're going to spend, you get 2 actions during your turn. Your first action is just to go and move one zone into one where we have an enemy. Wonderful. And your second is to go and use one of your pieces of gear. In this game, we haven't talked about gear yet. We don't have a traditional inventory system, but we do have signature items functionally that are designed to be super adaptable. So it can be anything that you imagine and is put into the categories of melee, ranged, or gadget. Gadget gear can't be used as an attack, but it does give a plus 120 check you play with it. Your custom motorbike, Shiloh, is a melee gear, meaning that you can use it for melee attacks, which is a vault check. So why don't you go and play a card from your hand to go and beat this face down card that this enemy is playing. It is I should probably before I get too into it, Gladiolus is a big enough deal where they have a hand of cards, so I'm going to draw a hand of cards to play for Gladiolus, but these minions are less important, and so just flick a card off the top of the deck. So you're going to be playing a card and adding your vault to it to hopefully best whatever this minion has.
Right.
All right, flipping in 3, 2, 1, go. Okay. This minion has a skill of 2. So that is 7 in total for me. What is your vault?
My vault is 3. So that's a 9.
Beautiful. You win. And so as a result, tell us what this attack looks like. Melee attacks do 2 damage. Tell us what it looks like as you go and do your sick burnout.
There is the intense rev of a motorbike. The exhaust that has the ability to do the paintings gives this bike a rather odd like purr to it. It almost sounds a bit like a bubbling as well beneath it. And so as Shiloh peels out, streaking towards this shadowy entity, they grab a hold of the handle, lift up on the bike, and as the back of the bike lifts up as they tilt it forward, it does a 360 and then it whacks across this creature in the chest. As then not fully Akira slides, but just slides down back onto the ground, waiting to see if it's still there.
Beautiful. You hit this Kingdom Hearts shadow looking thing and it goes as it evaporates into spattered ink, as it only had 2 stamina, and so you destroy it immediately. Melee attacks in this game deal 2 stamina damage, ranged attacks deal 1. That has been 2 actions on your part, so it is the end of your turn. Who would you like to pass the turn to?
I'll pass it to Lily.
Lily looks at the weird creature in front of them and Gladiolus in the back, and will move to Shiloh's side
Mhm.
and grabs the oversized parasol out of Nini's mouth,
Mhm.
and it's hanging resting on her shoulder, and there's like this really big ruffled parasol that is it almost looks like a really dark moon behind them,
Mm.
and it makes like it is so big that it is not only engulfing me but also Shiloh, so it is quite imposing to see this giant thing open up.
Mhm.
And I would can I hold an action?
Rather than holding, if you're going to be attacked by somebody, then
Yeah.
I think because this is both a tactics game and a narrative game, now that you've told me that you're kind of actively trying to go and protect Shiloh, I'll probably decide to go and attack you directly rather than in that kind of circumstance, because we're flexible in this circumstance.
It's like
You do have a
because
second action, though, and maybe if you have the cards for it, your psychic ability might come in handy.
yeah, so because the parasol is my giant parasol is a melee shielding
Mhm.
gear. So this is why I'm asking if I can like hold it to pretty much when someone comes and attacks Shiloh or me, since we're standing next to each other, that I could use it as a shield.
Indeed. Defensive checks are part of the process if somebody tried to melee attack you. So you'll naturally be defending with the parasol when it comes to somebody
Okay.
smacking you. So don't worry about that. That's in the bag. But you do
Okay.
technically have one more action you can take during your turn.
Since I am not in close range with anyone right now,
Mm-hmm.
could I try to tune in with checkmate? Because
Sure, you could absolutely do that.
I am holding on to that as I currently try to channel in with checkmate to figure out a mystery
Mm.
of the shadow card in my bag.
Okay, I love that. We can do what that would be is anything that goes outside, quote unquote,
Yeah.
of the kind of standard list of tactical actions in action scenes. There is a freestyle action, which is basically, hey, you can do anything that is narratively sensible in the circumstance you're in. You're on your turf, so your turf is here to be able to speak to. Let's do a commune roll, check rather. So as before, you can play a card from your hand. The value of the suit, the higher it is, the clearer of a response you're going to get. The suit determines the style of the response. That list is still available to you in the little Discord, but if
Yes.
you want me to read out what those suits mean, I can.
I have that. I'm asking, since my cat plush Nini is also a gear that I can attune to, and when I channel my psychic powers through this gear, once per scene, I can add +2 to an ability check, or to an ability or check using the card of hearts. Since I chose those, since I want to commune with checkmate to solve a mystery of that card, would I be able to do that?
That is a fascinating use of that ability. Absolutely, you can to add another 2 to that check.
Okay, so would I also still roll an attribute? Use an attribute?
No, for communing with turf, you do not apply an attribute to it.
Okay, then I would use this card and add Nini's +2.
It's super high. It's beyond a king. So no, it is just straight up a king value. So it's the highest it can get. So you're going to get a super clear answer and dealing with the mystery of this card. I see. Okay. You get a cold breeze blows through this space. You normally, when you kind of commune with checkmate, it is indoors, and it feels like the AC is breezing through, or as one of the other people in the House of Gambit is moving past you, and that motion flaps your hair, and you can feel the breeze. Here, it is actually like the wind outside, and for some reason, that is so much more of an oomph that blasts through this air, the slowly heating air of the morning, to make it ice cold briefly. And you think about it. Gladiolus made these little constructs using reality warping and the deck of cards that they had. So surely you'd be able to do the same. What would happen if you decided to go and fling that out? What would it even make? You know, the ink.
I get this revelation from Checkmate. Make a mental note to thank Checkmate, as well as Grandma, as I believe that Grandma is now in tune with our turf. As she has been an Esper as well, that was very close to Auntie. And I think Lily will slightly nod to herself and look at Gladiolus. And I think if he's trying to read Lily's expression, there is an expression of knowing, an expression of "I figured you out." And
Marvelous.
yeah, so since I used my move and my freestyle, I have used up both of my action.
Yep, that is the end of your turn. Who would you like to pass it to? It sounds narratively like you're passing it to Gladiolus.
Yeah.
Gladiolus sees you step up and start to try and protect Shiloh from damage coming in. And they're like, oh, you think you can protect your friends? Would you really be able to go and protect yourself against my ink scythe? As they kind of pull, again, from like the deck box attached, this like ribbon of fluid ink that then manifests itself into this long, like I want to say it's like a Kusarigama style thing. Like the blade is massive, but it's also in this really long chain. It is normally a ranged weapon. However, it also has the tag transforming. So once per session, you can just change what type the weapon is, and they kind of just slam it onto the ground, and the chain links in it form into a large like steel rod as they then whirl it around in their hands and try and slice into you, Lily.
If I roll a defensive check,
Yes, that would your bonus from your shielding umbrella does count towards
yes,
that.
and I would use Witcher Tribute.
To block a melee attack, it is hold.
Yeah.
We're gonna go for this card.
I will go with this and add my 1 from my shielding gear.
Yeah, so 3, 2, 1, flip them. I'm going for 10. Apparently, it's not very high vault, so it's +2 for 12.
My hold is a 3, so I'm a total of 8.
Unfortunately, not quite enough. As the ink, I think it splatters against the umbrella, and you feel that you've blocked the attack. And then, as the ink kind of like oozes around the umbrella, it then spikes out from the inside and gets you. And you take 2 stamina damage from the attack. Because you used your shielding, there is a downside to the shielding. In that if you fail the check, it essentially disarms it, so you can't use it for a while.
Could I, in this instance, use my tempo?
Oh, yes, you can absolutely use your tempo and flip a card off the top of the deck to add to the total. That is totally a thing you can do.
There we go.
Oh, not the 1. An ace is unfortunately only a 1 in this particular scenario. Cards on the table, as it were, haha. I do actually have a face card in my hand, and I was like, I'm not going to play that. If I had played that, you would have blown me up so bad. It would have been very, very good. But unfortunately, in this instance, even with your spend of tempo, it does not do it.
It is the game of luck.
Indeed, it is a cycle of karma. That is Gladiolus' turn as they have moved up and smacked you, and they're going to go and pass it over to Reina.
How much stamina did I lose?
You took 2 stamina
2.
damage.
Thank you.
All right. Now, above the table, what I'd like to do based on my understanding of cryokinesis, I can freeze a zone and prevent anyone from leaving the zone. We have a lot of friends and foes in a single zone.
Yes.
This will affect everyone.
It will, but you have the option of either freezing people in place or force moving them. Actually, if you why don't you read out the action side of cryokinesis directly, because it's a relatively complicated ability.
Cryokinesis. Place a token in your zone. Characters moving into that zone without making a parkour check are moved to a near zone of your choice and cannot leave the zone.
Or
Remove the token at the start of your next turn.
it is an or. You can choose to, whether somebody who moves in there without a parkour check, whether they go, whoa, whoa, and slip to another space, or they are frozen in ice and can't leave. So it is your discretion as to which one of those fires. But it is placed in your zone. There are a handful of places that you can place it. You can place it where you are. You can parkour over to the parlor and ice that area up. You can move into the space that everybody currently is in and ice that up. You have options.
Would my friends also go, whoa, whoa?
Yes, but you can you can basically choose to not activate any of those effects if you don't want to.
Because I want to separate Gladiolus from my friends using some ice. So I would have to first move my token into the space to be in the same space.
Yes, you would have to do that, yes.
Let's do that. So Reina moves into the party zone.
And cryokinesis requires a 7 of hearts or higher to use.
All right. Reina runs in and skids. And as she skids, she sort of tumbles forward. But before getting up, slaps the ground. And tells Shiloh and Lily, horse stance, squat. As the floor becomes ice.
Beautiful. I will go and make a marker for that. So we have one on the field. We're going to use this. Sorry, let me just make sure that this works the way that's intended. We are making 1 black token. Done. Okay, and we're going to go back. And then I can move this token here. There is a marker for the ice now. Good. Getting a hang of this VTT. So you've moved, and there is now a cryokinesis activated. So this area in front of the parlor is now covered in ice. There is 1 person left to act this turn, which is the other little ink minion, which moves naturally towards all of you. But it does not make any parkour to move into this zone, meaning it now slips on the ice that is placed there. What do you want to do with the little minion? Do you want to freeze it in place, or do you want to knock it somewhere else?
I want to knock it somewhere else, back to the tile where it came from.
Absolutely. It makes a full U-turn and then slips back out again and falls on its face. And it goes, oh, as little stars spin around its head. Right. We're going to go and pass the turn over to Lily.
Lily sees that Reina's coming over, turning the floor to ice, and how the little creature thing just pretty much skates around us back to where it came from. And gives Reina a signal that is they take out a little gold piece and flip it around, and it changes color from white to black, signaling to Reyna that the next thing Lily's going to do, they need Reyna to push, or even Shiloh. I think both of them can see it since we're like all in the space. And this is a signal that we've used in the past in games where you play in a group or like in duos. And then she pulls out the card that she has found earlier. The ink that is shimmering in the light. And points it towards Gladiolus. And turns it around.
Where did you get that? That card is so rare. Even I don't have one of those.
Channels all of her psychic powers. Pulls out the card, points it towards Gladiolus. I'm pretty sure this is not what you've wanted this to end like. To look like. I'm not even sure you want any of this at all. But don't worry about it. We're gonna end this now. And I will use my emergency attribute that is part of my cat plush gear. And once per session, when using this gear, I can choose an effect. I either add +3 to my check, me or a target gain a tempo point, or me or a target recover 2 stamina. I'm gonna add 3 to it. And with the signal I sent Reyna, I am asking them to support me.
Indeed, teamwork checks are available in this game. In instances where you don't think that you're able to go and meet the value yourself, others are in a position to assist you. I would say in this particular instance, you haven't, your allies haven't gone yet this round, so I would say that they're in a position to assist. To assist, you play a card from your hand. You do not get to discuss the card that you are playing. The idea is being able to kind of extend your real-world psychic abilities to your friends and work out the value. However, if the total of the check is 15 or higher, you all overexert and take 1 stamina damage each for each person who's involving themselves. You go too hard in pain. However, going all in may be what is required to go and defeat the threat here, because Gladiolus has gone and played a card from their hand, and they are feeling that they are going to put all of their energy into using hold to try and resist whatever effect is emerging from this particular thing. So, Reyna or Shiloh, are you adding a teamwork check to this?
Reyna will totally add a teamwork check, and that means I put my card in face down.
Yep.
There it is.
Reminder, I am adding a +3 to my check as well.
It's pretty likely you're going to bust over 15, but you'll probably very likely beat whatever Gladiolus is doing, and I love the drama of that.
This would be a volt, or...
Ooh, I think this is probably going to be a burn. Where,
all right.
And also, bear in mind that your bag is a gadget gear, meaning you get an extra +1 on top of it. So it is +4 plus your vault plus those 2 cards.
My
It's
vault.
going to be mad ting.
My volt is 3, so with that alone, we're at 7.
I mean, okay. Let's put up or shut up here. Gladiolus puts up their resistance to the king for 13, plus the hold of 2 for 15.
7 plus 2, we're at a 9. Now, what is Reyna adding?
$1 million.
Going way too hard in, absolutely.
Reyna got the signal, and what she did was she cartwheels down, and the last limb to slam on the icy ground is imbued with flames.
I think you, Lily, you fling the card up into the air, card captor Sakura style, and kind of expect Reyna to kind of put some force into it to just make it like burst out and become real. Reyna incinerates the card, and like there is some the immediate reaction from Gladiolus being like, that's a $200 card, as they freak out from just the sheer shock of this very valuable item being destroyed, and it breaks their concentration of reality warping, and the kind of, it's almost like a pane of glass of reality being shattered over what you are all currently doing, as no longer able to maintain a particular state. The game that you are all playing just immediately falls apart as Salazar is on their knees going, "Oh my god, oh my god."
Cards are meant to be played with. They're not meant to be mint condition and put away. They're meant to be used.
There is a flustering. You probably could have sold that card to maintain get some money to fund the. Oh, they glanced around. Did I end the game?
You sort of did.
I mean, Shiloh, you want to have a go? Right now?
Oh.
Uh,
There's the frustration on his face. Pissed? Did I just forfeit?
I mean,
No, we can bring this back. I can do a salty run back. And they try desperately to resummon the board state, but they are so tilted over what has just happened. It tries to manifest and crumbles apart again.
I think I hold up Nini, and there's like this plush cat face is in his face. And it's like almost using it like a Muppet. Game's over. Pay up.
We
just 1 second though. And Shiloh is going to, seeing Gladiolus in his defeated state, is going to put a hand on his shoulder, and I'm going to try and suppress the influence that came over his mind from Cherry Sunday.
Ooh, okay, absolutely. We're using the story side of Sledgehammer. Why don't you read that for me, please?
Yes, so that is temporarily suppress a psychic effect around yourself or something you can see. The GM will set a target number for the effect. Imposing effects have high target numbers, subtle effects have small ones. The closer to the target number, the stronger your suppression.
This has been like a constant little like worming against Gladiolus's way of thinking, so it's relatively low. I would set the target number as 4.
4. Okay.
Regardless of the card you play, technically it will work as long as it's a heart, but the closer you are to 4, the better the effect.
Well, the only heart I have currently is a 7.
That's pretty close. It's not huge, but hey, you don't dispel the effect entirely, but you get a moment of clarity. I agreed the stakes that we set. I said it was my house's finances, didn't I?
You did.
Oh, no.
We can negotiate.
Oh, I suppose since you are the winners of the battle, you get to determine. Are you foregoing the prize? I did lose, I suppose, fair and square.
You did lose, and you're taking it rather well. The thing we want more than anything is our house to stay where it is.
Upon taking it rather well, I'm just very good at compartmentalizing. They slam their fist against the tarmac. It hurt. I will let the Hyperion know that I have lost the Esper battle. and you were gracious enough to forego the prize. So,
Well, I didn't say that. I just think that maybe later, when you have your mind about you, you come and play another game with us.
I will take the opportunity for a round 2.
I think Lily would also chime in together with the Nini puppet. Any chance you got a lawyer in your house?
No. The House of Barrister is a little out of our pay grade.
Interesting, though, that no matter the outcome, there's like one less house functionally if Hyperion gets their way. It doesn't sound like pleasant for either party involved.
I truly agree. But, when you are, it is one thing to have a community, but what it means to kind of keep it open and running and not facing down from threats, it's not always easy. And when people offer you a solution to keep yourself alive and unbothered, and sometimes you have to eat or be eaten, sometimes that feels like the play, right?
Here's an offer. Join us against them.
There is a tentative. Do I get my jacket back?
Do they
We
get
can
their
make you a
jacket
new
back?
one.
We can have a chat about it.
I'll have a conversation with your house mother about it then, I suppose. I suppose this is a tentative deal. Oh, your hand is very cold.
Oh, I can warm it up for you. Bye.
No, it's fine.
No.
And we move into an epilogue, as it were. We see what is a closing scene we see within the parlor as we conclude this session of City of Espers.
I think after the battle, and while this moment of clarity still holds on, we invite Galiolis in for more light-hearted games, with complimentary tea that is either too hot or too cold. And Lily has conversation about different brands and where they got their shoes from, and if they know any designers or anyone who has a way in to be like photographed for specific magazines. And I think they share some snacks, and Lily is looking over to Shiloh, wondering how long this effect will last before we lose a fellow Esper once again to the effects of someone else.
It's fading as the conversation is going. The Gladiolus is highlighting that there is the House of Lasap in Velford Heights. They are largely menswear tailors, but the leader of it is somebody who is specializing specifically in clothing made for Espers. In the same way that we have like an Edna Mode in Incredibles, who's making suits that are designed to resist powers. Apparently, the house father of the House of Lasap is in that kind of work. And there's a very, very passionate discussion about just how these particular trousers can be so tight and yet so flexible.
I compliment his scythe and how it fits the outfit, and I see that the eyes start glazing over.
And they close off. Yes, well, if you want to find more, you're going to have to go and play me at something a little more exciting than this.
Right.
They stand up. I suppose I have to go and report back to the House of Hyperion about what's happened today. But don't worry, I will be back for another game, I'm sure.
We'll be here.
You do that. We will be here. And I think there's a moment where the door kind of blasts open and Ruby is there with the entourage of the House
Yes.
of Cosmic Ray.
Uh-huh. 24 people shows up. Darling, I'm here to go and kick some ass.
You're late.
Oh, piss. And it hits to immediate credits. We did it. Y'all ate that. Excellent work, everyone. Excellent work. Oh,
Yay!
this has been a session of City of Espers. If you enjoyed this session and you want to go and play this game for yourself, well, you can. We are currently at the moment that this airs, this game will be available in crowdfunding. BIPoC is how we're going to be funding this game. You can go donate, as it were, to pre-purchase. Crowdfunding is its own beast. We have a handful of different ways that you can go and support this particular campaign. You can get it as a PDF, you can get it as a hardback copy, and we also have a very, very fancy copy that not only comes in a little box, it also has a custom deck of cards with artwork by Issa Happyfield, who did the cover art for the book, and has also done a bunch of excellent artwork for Queers and Metro Otherscape. There is also the ability to go and get some STLs of the house, the main house of the cover, the House of Starfall. So if you're a miniature painter and want to have some official minis alongside your official deck of cards to use in your game of City of Espers, you can. I am so happy that I didn't know that people would want a game about gay psychics. When I pitched this game, I didn't know whether I would be able to even go and sell it to a publisher. So the fact that we've gotten this far and people want this and people want me to go and run it for them in this environment genuinely makes me so, so happy. So thank you everybody for watching. Thank you so much to my players for being here and playing along. And I hope you all enjoy your imminent copy of City of Espers. I'm using my psychic abilities to tell you to back the game. Bye.
Ooh,
Bye.
bye.
Have a good evening, everybody, and